bonuses.
Fuck, I wasn't thinking this was going to be that big. Oopsies!
Did he forget to add his attack
I
bonus?
forgot how to shoot.
He didn't add
You know,
one.
see, the thing before was we had the dice tray between us, so I could watch all his rolls and be like, no, add your bonus, buddy.
You're not getting that back, but these things happen.
Minus
Negative 20.
Yeah.
And...
Actually, that would still put me at a positive.
What the fuck is your bonus right now?
Warning, this episode may include these things and worse if I've missed them. If that's not your cup of tea, then viewer discretion is advised. This content is intended for mature audiences only, so if that's not you, then get out. Last time, on the Pridefall Campaign, Fel Dristan, an up-and-coming mage, arrived in the military-protected mountain village of Prufin. Fel meets new friends, including Roran Rema, Cornelius Barris, and Will Use It. With a writ of exploration in hand, the group set out into the otherwise forbidden military zone to explore an ancient locked ruin belonging to the long-since collapsed Eternal Empire. You caught up now? Aight, cool.
As you guys make your way down through the forests, the echoing of the woods, sounds of insects pattering around you, you have Cornelius Barris, who's searching the local area for any sort of interesting herbs and spices that may be along the way. Go ahead and give me a knowledge check. Herbology.
14.
As you're searching along the way, you manage to kind of dig your hand into some tree stumps. You find there are bugs. You're digging into the ground where you might find mushrooms, but unfortunately, you're not finding anything of value or that's worth taking. Gotcha. All right. And then from there, I just need a second to pull up the map for the next area.
So, other than Will was whispering to you for a shockingly long time, what was that about? Was he warning you of some danger that might be out here?
No. He was trying to bribe him.
Bribe him?
I was
For
quite
what?
uncomfortable as well, so...
What was he trying to get out of you?
I think he wants stuff from the ruins.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what he wants.
You could just ask. If we found something interesting, we'll get him a nice paperweight.
Sounds good.
You guys move in to the next zone. From this zone, the forest begins to open up and clear amongst the mountainous ridges, the rocks, and the tree lines around you. There are still some parts of the forest that are probably too dense and too tightly packed with trees for you to travel into, as well as there are some mountainous hills, peaks that are surrounding the area that would either be unreasonable to climb or you don't have the equipment to climb. But from here, the area does open up, and Fel Dristan, from you, this seems to be following the description of the openings you found for the Eternal Ruins. The ruins must be around here somewhere. And from there, you guys are able to continue forward. So far, you have two paths ahead of you with a ridge that's blocking the way. You have a fork to the left and a fork to the right.
Go left or right?
Does anybody have any idea which direction it might be?
Didn't we
You
get a
don't know where
quest
to
marker?
Quest marker. General area.
Oh,
We're within the radius.
damn.
To
If
the
you're in a
left?
maze, they say always go right.
I was gonna go left.
Let's try going left.
To the straight left of you guys, along your leftern side where you can't see any vision past that, the tree line gets too thick, and there are some rocky paths and ridges that are blocking the way.
Alright, this seems normal enough.
Ooh, look. A pond.
Another split.
Everybody roll perception. All right, so Mac with 4.
3.
3.
11.
11. 11. Luckily, this is pretty out in the open, so while Fel Dristan and Roran Rema are completely blind and just looking blankly ahead, this is something that Cornelius Barris and Will Use It can spot. It is across the way on your guys' right of the map. Across the pond, you can actually see what appears to be almost like a black moving mound. And as the two of you kind of investigate and take a closer look, you realize that there is some sort of battle site off to your right, and those moving mounds are actually a couple hundred rats.
Oh
I've
That's
seen
a
this
lot of
before.
rats.
no! Roran! Across the pond!
Yes. That's very unsettling. Do you think they see us?
I don't know.
Let's try to keep it that way.
For now, whether the rats have spotted you or not, they seem to be preoccupied with what appears to be a human body. You can't tell how old the body is from now, but you can tell it's pretty small in size.
That's
Should we investigate?
maybe we should. It feels like the right thing to do.
And you also see you also manage to spot a strange thing floating in the pond that catches your attention. And as your eyes are drawn to the floating object, you realize that that's a body floating in the pond.
Oh no! This is this is uncomfortable. So I am very uncomfortable with this, but I think we have to investigate this. This is
Okay.
okay. Maybe we can just shoo them away.
I'm gonna draw my shovel.
Guess
Would
it's
I have
crossed
knowledge
with,
of rats like this because of my backstory?
Not particularly, but you can roll knowledge animals to identify the rats and their traits. You guys can all see the rats, you can all roll it. Brandon, if you failed this check, I'm going to be seriously disappointed.
You are going to be disappointed.
No, I'm not.
3.
You came uncomfortably close.
I rolled a 10.
10?
18.
18.
9.
9? All right. Let's see.
I rolled a 1, dude.
All right. You guys have, in fact, exceeded the DC by 10 through the use of Roar and Rema. The DC was 2. Roar and Rema is the one who's got the highest, so in this time, you'll be able to divulge this information across the entire party. What you are dealing with are Rattling Swarms. This is a small swarm of 100 rats per swarm. The Rattling Swarms themselves have an HP pool of 6. Once you've gotten rid of the 6 HP, whether it's a fluff of you've killed the rats or you've spooked the rest away, either way, the swarm has been defeated. Any sort of knowledge you want about these Rattling Swarms, you are welcome to. You've exceeded the DCs. You can know anything you want to know about them.
Alright, guys, they're just rattling swarms. I think we can take them. They're not very strong creatures.
I hate rats.
How fast do they move?
They move 20 feet, 4 squares. And let me specify that you can have any information you want right now.
Yes.
Once we move past now, all that information is locked unless you remember it.
20 feet, no armor. What's the dodge?
Their defense is 15, base and total.
What's their
Never
attacks?
mind.
They have one attack is nibbling. It has a +7 to their attack roll, 1d4 edge damage, with a critical of 20 by times 2.
Let's kill these rats.
We're going to be taking a surprise round right now, going clockwise. So, surprise round, let's start off with Roar and Rema. What does Roar and Rema do?
Alright, I'm gonna get in range. And I'm gonna fire off a shot with my crossbow.
Delightful. So yeah, you're in range to take a shot at either swarm number 1 or swarm number 2 at no penalty.
Alright, let's go swarm number 1. I'm gonna line up my shot. Yeetus deletus. And I...
5. Unfortunately, Roar and Rema lines up the shot, and he misses the first bolt.
Damn.
What does Feldristan do with his surprise round?
Yeah, I'll move up to there. Area, range, damage, water, base 1, and then I will up it by... Let's just do 2 extra points.
Alright, so that's 7 seconds of cast time. The first round finishes now. The spell will go off next turn, whether you like it or not. So, Feldristan begins casting his water spell with fluid movements as he postures his body. Cornelius Barris, what are you going to do with your surprise round and shovel?
We gotta get closer.
Anything else you want to do?
I
Drop my shovel.
All right, Cornelius postures himself closer, and then it goes to Will Use It, the final in the surprise round. What would you like to do with your turn? All right, so you go and you try and heave up the boulder. This is a pretty thick and heavy boy. It's going to take your primary action to do and a strength check. Go ahead and roll a d20.
So, 21.
Ooh. And with that, Will Use It digs his hands into the ground, grabbing the perfect position underneath the boulder. And with all your might, you grunt and growl. As you heave the boulder out of the ground, holding it in hand.
Oh, Lord.
Unfortunately, this is one heavy fucker. So while you are carrying this boulder, you are at half movement speed. But you know what? The improvised weapon chart is supposed to max out at 1d8. I'm going to keep it at 1d8, but you're going to do twice your strength damage with this boulder. So, what do? You still have a secondary action left.
Oh, I do?
Yep. 60 feet. That's technically within range.
Yeah, but it's a minus
Negative
20.
20.
Yeah.
And...
Actually, that would still put me at a positive.
What the fuck is your bonus right now? In any case, that's a surprise round over. Everybody roll initiative. First up is the rats, who, after having a bolt flung towards them, has startled them, and they have got eyes locked on the nearest living target.
Uh-oh.
These are aggressive little shits, and they immediately start moving in.
Me. Oh god, guys.
Oh, Lord,
They're
they're
coming.
biting my ankles.
Oh lord, they coming.
They have enough movement to get all the way up to you, but unfortunately, they don't have enough of their turn to do anything else. That is their turn. After that, it then jumps over to Will Use It with his hefty boulder. All right, so with your range band, that'll be a negative 10 penalty to hit them.
So, 27.
27? So, how do you do this?
just...
Everybody, stand back.
So, as Roar and Rema is like, oh fuck, I missed, and 200 rats come sprinting at him, suddenly, from over your shoulder, drops a man-sized boulder right in front of you, which outright crushes half of the rats outright. They are dead. They're not fleeing and escaping. They're just... You've killed 100 rats splattered on the ground with one boulder.
It works.
After that, it then jumps over to no, it goes to Roar and Rema.
What the fuck just happened? Jesus. Alright, so I need to reload. That's my secondary action, right?
Yep. Alright, that is now impassable terrain for what it matters.
So I've reloaded. Hands maybe slightly shaky after what I just witnessed. And I'm gonna fire upon the only rat swarm left.
Yep, there's still 100 of them fuckers there.
Yep. And I'm still terrified. 16.
16 is a hit. Roll damage. 4. Alright. You fire a crossbow bolt, and it launches into the Rattling Swarm, dealing some damage, harming the rats as a greater swarm. After that, it then goes to Cornelius Barris.
I'm hoping that Feldriston can shoot through me. We'll find out. Then I'm going to hit it with my shovel.
Alright, you go to smack it with the shovel. Roll your attack roll.
Ooh. 19.
19 is a hit. Roll damage.
So 1d4 minus 2. It's 2. So 1 damage.
So, with a minimum of 1 damage, the Rattling Swarm is still alive, and it goes down to Feldriston.
Okay, beautiful. And whoosh, let down a small little tiny waterfall because it's very powerful. This should be 3d2s of damage, so 4 damage.
With that, your waterfall comes cascading down, and like the Rattling Swarm before, this time leaving not a single rat left, as they all of a sudden just start drowning under the crushing weight and the magical forces of water being forced into their lungs. You've killed the Rattling Swarm, and you did it. You didn't die. Good job. It took 4 of you to kill 200 rats. which sounds kind of fair.
Yeah.
That was a very, actually, sort of terrifying experience.
Did we get him?
Oh, yeah. You
Okay.
got most of them.
They're dead.
Everybody gets plus 30 XP. So, you guys begin to, you guys happen across a battle scene. One that appears to include a lot of scuffle, a lot of blood marks, but it'll take a survival check for you to be able to draw a scene from it.
Oh boy. I got nothing in survival. Let's go, boys.
8, 3,
19.
19,
5.
5. Cornelius, have plus 5 XP bonus for getting the survival check. So the first thing that you guys notice is that there are 2 children's bodies. The body of a child that has been gutted through with a slash, as well has been nibbled and eaten by the rats, as well as a child that's been drowned in the pond and left there. Cornelius, as you begin to investigate the scene, the footprints around the area, the scuffle, you manage to not only find a worn dagger that's been left behind in the dirt, but you also start to paint a picture of what happened. From what you can tell, there were, at one point, 3 children resting by this campfire in the woods, until what appeared to be about 5 sets of metal footsteps, likely that of Gratian soldiers, came through. 2 of the children were killed, and the last one was taken away back up north. And additionally, I want you all to roll a perception check as well.
19.
19?
13.
13?
21.
21.
13.
Cornelius, another plus 5 XP bonus. As you begin to investigate the area a little bit, you manage to find a little dirt mound nearby this campsite where you kind of unshuffle the dirt and you find a very small lockbox. Inside the lockbox, you actually manage to find some stashed away coin, as well as what appears to be something that looks like a map of sorts, very crudely drawn, clearly made by a child, that shows this vague area, a X mark on the location by the pond, put inside the lockbox that was buried with it. It's basically a map to the treasure with the treasure that was buried in it.
Okay.
But it also does show a home symbol over by the capital city of Sudanine. As you are passing the note around and you guys are all investigating it, you can very clearly tell. The drawings are clearly that of a child, but there's more acute notes that detail the areas and have steps for how to find these things. And you can tell immediately these are the handwritten notes of Fiat.
I think this is the kid I'm looking for. Not here, but in his writing. He was my apprentice, so I would know it anywhere.
I thought you couldn't read.
I lie a lot. I don't steal, though. Just... That's too far.
Oh my god.
You say you lie, but then don't steal.
Yep.
I believe him.
2 children were killed here, cut down by Gratian soldiers. The other child was clearly taken away. As for the coin that was stashed away, you guys find a grand total of 3 silver pieces and 28 copper pieces. It is up to you to decide how or if you want to split it. Alright, so a silver piece to Roran Rema, Cornelius Barris, and Will Use It, and 28 copper pieces to Feldristan. You guys are all very familiar with the lore of the world, in that bodies that are not burned have a very high chance of eventually coming back as the undead.
Anyone start a fire?
I've got a flint and steel. I can start a fire. That campfire's right there, so I'll just kind of like restart that.
I
Well, I'll
can
help
get
you
the
throw
body
bodies
from the
in.
leg.
Well, through the power of teamwork, it takes about an hour or so to get everything set going and together, especially to make sure that you don't start a forest fire. It takes a little bit of time. The sun goes noticeably down a little bit, but you still got quite a bit of daylight left. Will Use It fishes the body out of the pond. You guys get the child's ravaged body from the battleground. Feldristan starts the fire. You guys put the bodies onto the fire and begin to burn them and lay the bodies to rest.
Yay, game 1, burning dead children.
Oh my god.
Probably deserved it.
Oh, good lord.
As you round the corner of trees and rock boulders, you do happen across the Eternal Ruins. Before you guys, you see an Eternal Ruin that has been taken by nature and overgrowth. Vines and trees litter the entire area. The pillars supporting the roof are starting to crumble. A small stairway leading up to this grand platform that leads to a massive oval stone door. More than anything, from the immediate exterior look of this place, it looks like the foundation of where you're standing is supporting the roof of the building. There's no first floor or second floor. You can immediately see that this is an underground complex. If you could only get that darn door open, which no one before you has been able to do, then maybe you'd be able to explore the facility.
Oh, if only.
Here I come.
Feldristan approaches the door.
Okay, so according to my research and cross-referencing other ruins similar to this, I believe it needs to be opened with magic. I'll just kind of put my hand on it and channel a little bit into it.
All right. So you put your hand up to the door, and using your knowledge of ethereal power and how to move Aether about the environment and yourself, you take a little bit of the ethereal energy from inside of you, take 1 Aether point, and you channel it from your heart as it tingles through your shoulder, courses through your arm, your forearm, into your hand, and into your fingertips, and you release it into the door. And you can see that the architectural lines of the door that appear to be purely for design, some curves, edges, some swirls in the design of the door, they begin to glow with a brilliant blue light. And as that happens, you guys hear the crashing of the stonework as the door begins to physically roll over by itself and on its own out of the way. Revealing before you, there is a darkened staircase that goes straight down. As the door finishes rolling off to the side, dust crumbling, one of the pillars even collapses off to your left. This place is clearly in an unstable foundation, unstable position, but when the door finishes rolling, you see that there appears to be a glowing light of lines, what appears to be glowstone, lighting the way down into the staircase. But not normal glowstone. Glowstone that you guys are familiar with would only be a light at night. But this glowstone is glowing red during the day.
So there's like a bunch of it up in the ceiling?
Yep, it's a physical stone that's lining the creases where the wall meets the ceiling, and it goes all the way down into the staircase and into the facility, so lighting like the entire area.
One giant piece of stone.
Yeah.
Okay, instead of like
just kind of super glued up there.
Instead of like little small sockets.
So it's like the like strip LED lights.
Yeah, it's like a strip LED light of red glowing stone, which you've yet to see the likes of yet.
Has anybody got hammer and chisel?
Okay, I have a shovel. I have an axe.
I got a blacksmith hammer, but I don't know. It might be a little big.
Well, you can use his hammer to hit my axe, and we can chisel.
Would that be possible?
Possible. You can always try.
So I want to get like a small little sample piece knocked out in there.
Should we maybe try on the way out?
That's actually a smart plan.
This place looks pretty
That's
unstable.
not what I'm worried about.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, considering that pillar.
All right, we'll remember it. We'll remember it on the way out.
I hope.
All right. And so the group ventures into the Eternal Ruin.
Hey, hope you guys enjoyed that. Want to know what happens next? Subscribe and turn on notifications. In a few days' time, I'll ask YouTube Senpai to kindly let you know what's out. Or maybe you're from the future, in which case you can check it out right now. If you're sticking around in the comments, tell us about the first combat you remember having in tabletop. Or if you've never played, what you imagine it'd be like. Alright. Cool. See ya.